According to reports, children account half of the total population of the African continent. But policies and infrastructures are not in favor of this huge number, almost across the continent. The African Child Policy Forum thus organized with the intention of ensuring the well-being of children across the continent. Director of the African Child Policy Forum, Dr. Joan Nyanyuki, explains the magnitude of challenges facing African children.
The essential systems to protect children are not adequately in place. Where they exist, they are very scanty and they are very under-resourced. In some places, they do not exist at all, or they do not reach the ordinary child. At the district level, at the village level, they do not have access to these protection mechanisms. The second element is also, what is the attitude, what is the knowledge, what is the level of public awareness? Does the broader community, the broader society actually see this as a crime? So we have a problem in terms of both the state systems and protection systems for children, and also a problem at community level.
Dr. Nyanyuki has called for increased cooperation among African states to adopt inclusive policies that favor children.
And our starting point is always who has the responsibility of protecting children? What is the obligation of governments according to their own national laws, according to their constitution, and also according to the African and United Nations charters? We have the UN Charter, the Convention on the Rights of Children. We have the African Charter on the Rights and Welfare of Children. So within these two broad regional and international instruments, governments have obligations, and those obligations are wide. They are from access to education, access to a clean environment, protection, access to even legal redress when, for instance, a child has been a victim of a crime. And when a child is accused of a crime, they still have their rights protected.
The rate of sexual violence is alarmingly increasing in the continent during the corona pandemic as children stay home with parents and relatives.
We have seen already, we have anecdotal reports, we have empirical evidence already to the increase in sexual violence against children, both boys and girls, during this time of COVID. But I want to point out first that we are starting from a place where sexual violence was already happening. We have figures of 1 in 3 children in some countries like South Africa being victims of sexual violence before COVID. We have figures of 1 in 5 in Malawi, 1 in 4 in Ghana, 1 in 4 children. These are the figures we had before COVID. Now in COVID, we are hearing from these same countries that there's increased reports to police, calls to child line, helplines, and even reports within the local government administration systems. We are also seeing more cases of police investigating. We're getting reports of police investigating more complaints of different forms of sexual violence. So we can concretely say, even without the actual number of figures in every country, that there has been a huge escalation of sexual violence against both boys and girls.
The effort of the forum will not be successful to reduce the vulnerability of children unless governments and all concerned states cooperate, the director underlined.